Maybe her screen is frozen.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, there you go. You were frozen there for a second. Okay, that's great. Okay, we'll get started and be on time here. I know Melissa's going to join us here in a bit. So thanks everyone for joining us on Wednesday night Team B call. We have a very, very special guest on tonight, Zvonko. Z, you might hear him be called Z. Big introduction. What can I tell about this guy? He was the first national marketing director in Canada, and he did it in a year. And, he, I'm sure at the time, broke many, many records to getting to the top position. A lot of us, take a lot longer than a year in the day of social media. So that was probably very impressive back in the day, Z, hey, where we had not even probably cassette tapes, just our mouth.
That's what happens when you Taurus.
Right? When you're a Taurus, there you go. And so Z is going to share about his product story and his business story. And then after that, maybe just a few tips on what you gained from this last conference, which is our largest conference. The other thing I wanted to mention is Z is a 100 Club. He is a international national marketing director, 100 Club. He's got business all over the world. And, he's a traveling gypsy, as we would call him. And
every gypsy is traveling. So
right?
It's,
Yeah. So just grateful that we have Z on so he can share his story, wisdom, and just the energy coming out of conference. So thanks, Z. Take it away.
So, okay, can we kind of go in the stages? Maybe you can ask me these questions.
Sure. Why don't you start? Yeah, start with your product. Share a little bit.
Yeah. I remember that one. Good. Well, hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for that nice introduction, Nicole. I see a lot of people online tonight. I don't know if if I'm that popular or your team is just rocking, and every night this is like this, right? But anyhow, so I'm pleased to meet a lot of new faces that I never met before. I know I met some of you throughout the event since we just came back from St. Louis. It was great to meet a few people there. So I hope that they all recovered and they have started their detox, which was probably badly needed. But anyhow, that is going to kind of shift me into my product story. My whole journey really with Juice Plus started by somebody gave me a book which was called Food Enzymes: The Missing Link to Radiant Health, and it was written by this naturopathic doctor, Dr. Santillo, who came with the original idea of Juice Plus. And it was a small book, maybe 70 pages. I don't remember now, but I remember reading this book, and I recognized myself in this book because this book talked about this idea that there is processed food and there is a live food that has energy, that has an energetic component, that the live enzymes are not destroyed in that food. And then if we eat that food, then we feel invigorated. And if you don't eat food like that, if we eat processed food, then our body has to spend a lot of energy to digest that food. And this is where I recognize myself, because at that time, my diet was pretty much, I would eat cheeseburger with fries and Heineken almost for every lunch, and I would want to go to sleep after that, because then you can understand why. And then I would need a big cup of coffee just to drink after, just to kind of keep myself awake. So I recognize myself in this book, and I'm going like, what, my God, is this why do I feel this way after I have lunch? And I'm going, So let me try, right? So this is one of the main catalysts really for me to really start to not to just start taking Juice Plus. Obviously, I started to take it right away, and I have been taking it ever since, every single day since 1994 when this was taking place, and I never missed a day. I've been taking capsules, so this is my number one health strategy. So I do that, and then I try to eat best I can. And this is really what I share with everybody, what is Juice Plus, because a lot of people have this idea that it is a replacement of fruits and vegetables. I like to eat fruits and vegetables. I can live on fruits and vegetables, and I can tell you that is part of my story. Before Juice Plus, I could eat only fruits all day, but I did not like veggies. period. And I remember even as a kid, you know, my mom would push me to eat salad, and then I would eat a lot of bread just to kind of cover the taste of all these tomatoes, so whatever was in the salad. And after being on a Juice Plus for a while, I noticed that my cravings have started to change. So I started to crave different foods, and this was really interesting to me. And I see my story with the Juice Plus really as a health journey, just kind of discovering all these things and discovering things about myself. And you know, I mean, I was always like this. I'm kind of 6'4" and maybe 190 pounds, so I never have any issues with the weight. So my approach to food would eat whatever, whenever, as much. I mean, I never really paid any attention to that. But once I started to learn a little bit about food, and then food politics and all this, that really opened this whole social aspect of what we do and impact that we can, with our example, what we can do in the communities around us. First of all, with our families, communities around us, and then you can start looking at the bigger picture, right? So just to kind of cut long story short on the product, my diet has really changed totally. My eating habits. Before also Juice Plus, I was carbohydrate junkie. I would drink like 5-6 coffees a day, and every time I would buy a coffee, I would say, and then I'll take this. I'll have this cheese Danish. I'll take this muffin. I'll take this croissant, something like that. So I just kind of end up eating a lot of sugar without really being aware of that. And this was the whole thing. I was not aware. I never thought of that. And this book really woke me up and was a big catalyst to start thinking a little differently and start looking into different things, asking different questions, trying this. So I went into this phase. So what would happen if I try to eat more of this and less of this? Let me try. I'm curious by nature. I want to know a lot of things. I like to discover new things, all those things. So really, that was my journey, and that was also the beginning of my business story. Because when I read this book, my next question was like, how come I don't know about these enzyme thing? You know, this is lineal thing. You eat this, you feel like crap. You eat this, you feel like $100 million, right? And then I realized, you know, there is reason why we don't know that, because we live in society where basically, health is economic model of sickness, better to say it, right? And I'm a little bit of rebellious. So my next thing was, everybody should know about this. Everybody should know about this book. Everybody should start taking Juice Plus. And that was really my vision. It was very altruistic vision, because I truly wanted to share what I have discovered, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I went to work, and basically what Nicole mentioned, you know, this was a it was kind of pre-social media age, pre-Facebook age, pre-internet age, pre-CD age. I mean, I'm dating myself, right? But it was in comparison to now, it was different to do it, right? It was much harder to do it, because you had to be present everywhere. Your best bet was to speak to somebody on the phone, and then if you can deliver that message, great. You know, we had some cassette tapes that we shared, but basically the way how I went NMD, I was the first person in Canada to do that. My energy was that I was excited about it, right? The second thing was a technology of that was that I did a lot of events. I did these, I call them action weekends, because I started somebody in north of Toronto, like 7 hours north from here, and every Friday evening I would load up trunk of car full of Juice Plus boxes, because at that time we did not have automatic reorder, automatic shipment. And then I would do travel to 7 hours there, and then I would do one event. This was in New Liskeard, a little community in Northern Ontario. I would do event Saturday morning there. Then I would drive to Timmins and do event Saturday evening there. Then drive to Sudbury. Timmins Saturday afternoon, Sudbury Saturday evening. Then sleep in Sudbury. Sleep in Timmins. No, Street in Sudbury. I'm sorry. But I did this every weekend, and then Sunday we would travel to North Bay and did the event there. So it was, how many is that? Like 4 events in a weekend. And then I would drive back to Toronto, and my distributor, he would go back to New Liskeard, and then next week he would be talking to people and promoting these events. I mean, nothing different than what you do now, except that you had to physically meet people, do the presentation. We did it with many less tools that were available at that time, but we didn't know better. That was what was available. Just like our business is probably going to be much easier 3 years from now, because we are going to be using some technology that are not discovered yet. You are going to have some NMDs in your teams that are going to come to your business through some technology that does not exist today. Hopefully they're not going to be robots. I hope they'll be people with the flesh and blood. So, you know, the way how technology is developing quickly. So to cut long story short, so as I said, it took me a year to go NMD, because we did these events every single weekend for like a few months, and it created so much momentum that I became NMD. That was the story. And after that, I moved to California. I lived there for like a few years. When I came back from California here to Toronto, I remember going to one trip to Paris, and I remember I was walking down Champs-Élysées Avenue and just kind of soaking the beauty of the architecture and kind of the culture of Paris. And you cannot help but be impressed with that, because you're just stronger than you, right? And I remember I had this vision in my head. I was visualizing globe, right? Globe with all the countries, and then I'm thinking, like, Canada is all the way up to the north, you know, by the screw where you kind of tighten the globe, you know, when those things that you have in a school, that how kids learn geography, right? And my next thing was like, what am I doing there? Why am I not coming to Europe more often? So I started to come to Europe like every few months, and I figured out it's better for me to do these trips, you know, not just work like crazy, because if I do that, then probably I'll have to go and spend money with some psychiatrist to fix me, because, you know, I'm putting so much stress just by working. You know, I like to do things in a little bit more elegant way. Anyhow, so I just kind of kept going more often to Europe, because I'm originally from Serbia, so I always felt as a European. And then about I think it's already now 10 years, 2006, I decided to sell my house here in Toronto, and I wanted to live in London, so I moved there, and I lived there for like 2 years. And after that, I bought a place in Belgrade, where I'm originally from, with this just idea, let me see if I can live in my hometown kind of thing after all these years. And I love it there. I spend maybe 6 months, 5-6 months altogether, because I like to travel. I have a big team still here. You know, I have a team in England, in a little bit in Spain, Holland, a few places. And so, as I said, I really, how would I say it? I took literally this idea that you can free yourself, and that you can travel, and then you can make your own decisions, and you can create your own schedule. And, you know, sometimes I look back, like where I traveled last 6 weeks, and I'm going like, you crazy, you should slow down a little bit. But I like that, right? Because I always combine business and pleasure, because all these places you go to, you have a teams, and, you know, teams are your friends, people that you like to spend the time with anyhow, because a lot of people become your friends along the way. And if you are fairly new in a business or brand new in a business, you're going to find that out, that this really is about building a community of people that are excited about some things that resonate with all of us. And this is really my mission, is on altruistic level, to impact society in a good way, by just starting and sharing this idea with people, how they can just become healthier, choosing few simple changes, adopting few simple changes, and sticking with them. And on a selfish standpoint, I can live the life that I want to live. I don't have to I'm going to travel to London on the 2nd of November. And then I have I'm going to stay a few days there, and then I have some ideas whether should I go to Belgrade straight to my place, or maybe I should stop by in Germany for a few days. So I don't have to ask anybody whether I could do that or not. I'm going to just decide when I decide. And to me, that is priceless, having that level of freedom. And I think I would say Taurus enough to believe that I can do it, and I did not let anybody tell me that what I'm doing was that I was crazy. I mean, not that I did not let anybody tell them, because people were telling me that, but I did not believe them, because why would I, right? Because I'm more than 18. I think I'm intelligent. I know what I want. So you can think whatever you want what I do. If you want to join me, that's fantastic. If you don't, that's fantastic also. But that's maybe a little harder lesson to learn, as probably some of new people on the line will find out, because we are so excited about what we do that we just cannot get. How come somebody doesn't get this thing, right? It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's what is there not to like? Anyhow, so that was my extended version, long play of my story, guys. So, what was the next question?
No, that's great. A lot of you guys are new and probably have never met Z before. So just so you know, some of his NMDs you guys probably know are John Shaw, Monique Serbu, Alyssa Harriman, and Jen Owen. Those are 4 of his NMDs here just in Ontario, just so you understand and make the connection of who they get trained on or from Z. Okay, so the other question, Z, thank you for sharing your story. I always love hearing your story, and it's always like sometimes we forget our humble beginnings, and because you guys have never met Z before, we all have to start somewhere. We all start at the bottom. And we all have to do the same activity. What Z did was he did massive amount of events. That's it. He just worked hard and had a vision and went to the top.
One thing I want to mention, that some of you that are starting today, and we all go through ups and downs, obviously, because this is life. This is nothing different. Nothing goes straight like that, right? It is going to challenge you. But the fact that when you are going to get into your down cycle, that you're not going to quit. You are going to deal with that. You are going to grow with that, and you're going to continue. That is going to allow somebody 5 years from now, that is going, not somebody, but maybe thousands of people that will be joining your team, and they are going to join them just because when you were in that down cycle, you did not quit. You decided to get up and continue regardless. So just like if I quit, then a lot of people that are in my team would not have been doing this. They would be doing something else, and I would be doing something else, right? Maybe better, maybe worse. Who knows? We'll never know that. But we know how potent this opportunity is. So really, we do have a responsibility, and this is where we can influence so many people in a good way. And this is what is amazing thing, really. And a lot of times we don't. We are not conscious of that, really, because we are agents of change, guys. Because I somehow take my lifestyle for granted, and Nicole does, I'm sure, because we have been around for a few years and we are used to our lifestyle. But I remember once I was in London and I had an early flight to Toronto, and I had to get up really early. And I stayed with my friend in East London, southeast London. And I had to get to Victoria Station, I think, by 5 o'clock. So I had to get on a tube like 4:30 at the station where she lived. So I got there, and I could not get into the tube. It was full of people at almost 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going, my God, like these people always, what time did they get up? They showered, they dressed, they are ready to go. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, another time also, this was in London. I flew in, and I had to go in a north part of the London. So I know I was in this Piccadilly line, which is a very long line. As you go further out, less people is in are in these cars on a metro, on a tube. And it was around 7 o'clock, and I flew that day. So, when I'm in a tube, I don't sit. I just stand, because you always sit all the time, right? And you see these people, and they're just like sleeping there. They're totally spent, no energy, and they're just kind of waiting to get home, maybe to, I don't know, eat something, or I don't know if they're going to watch television, go to bed, and then start again next day. So this is the reality of majority of the people around us. And for some of them, we are going to be catalysts that just because you are you, they are going to have enough trust and respect for you that are going to look into this. And as a result of that, they are going to take some action. They are going to take a different course. Their life is going to take different course because of you. So be proud of that.
Awesome, Z. I'm on the phone. Okay, the last question we had, and then we'll wrap up because we're doing our conference wrap as well. So the last question, Z, is we just came off of our largest conference ever, over 7,000 people. Can you bring back some of that energy to our team? There's a lot of people on the call that weren't at conference. So we've got about 8 minutes for you to kind of give a little bit of a synopsis of what you took from this conference. And you've been to probably well over 20 plus conferences in your lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I just came back from a Bournemouth conference in UK, and then spent about a week here in Toronto, and then went to St. Louis. But really, if you think about it, we live in an age of information. We live in facts are available everywhere, right? So our business is really about our culture, who we are as a people, what is our mission as a company, what is the nature of our products that we market, who do we influence with those products, in what way do we influence them, what is the philosophy of the leadership of the company, because if all these things are very, very important. So people are going to find the facts about our company, about the product, about research. They are everywhere. We live in an age of information. That's available everywhere. But what you cannot find is a culture. And culture is something that you cannot, nobody can steal your culture. And this is what happens when the people come to the conference. They get soaked into that culture, and they come different. They come back different people, and so many of them say, "Wow, I didn't expect it. I didn't think this. Oh, I met this person, and this is what they said, and I spoke to this person." And a lot of stuff happens outside of the trainings. I mean, if you were in that Stephen Ritz event on Thursday evening, this was incredible event. And I remember I met Stephen Ritz at the first conference, and then second, and I remember going to him at the second conference, and I said, this is the second time I'm seeing your talk, and I want to tell you one thing, and that is that you're the most inspiring person I have met in my life. And if I were in charge, I would give you, I would put you in charge to run the world, the whole world. I know you're a little crazy, you are ADD, but I'll do it. Why? Because you are one person with the one idea, just one person with just one idea. But look, what have you accomplished with that idea? Why? Because that is noble idea. That is noble idea with a tremendous impact. And guess what? If I didn't go to that conference, that was, I think, in Phoenix, I would never met the most inspiring person in my life. And the idea is that we run our everyday lives, and we kind of get into some kind of a channel. We do things every day, but we really don't realize that it is much more possible than what we think it's possible. And sometimes we need to get exposed in front of some people that are just going to maybe do something from different angle that is going to hit us like a ton of bricks, and you are going to say, what the hell am I doing? I have this thing in my lab for 3 years, and I've been playing with that. Right? So so this is the thing, you cannot meet people through yes, we do meet on a Zoom, but it's different if we met in a person, right? And this whole thing is about energy, about building communities, about loving people and giving love to people. This is what it is about, and this is what people pick up on. And you go there and you see a bunch of healthy people. You cannot hear a cough in like 7,000 people. What's happening with that? Things like that. I remember one of my distributors, when he went to his first conference, we were sharing it after, and he said, I thought this was set up because everybody I met was a nice person. And he came from insurance industry, not that I'm putting industries down, but he said, I've been to many conferences, but it's just, the energy is just not there. So you pick up that energy, and that energy gets you, and then you become different person, and then everything what is intangible becomes tangible, because then you start believing that, yes, I can do this. I've met too many people not for this thing not to happen for me. So you come back with certain resolve, and that's really what it is. This thing is making the decision to do it no matter what. You are going to figure it out, and we all have 2 days when we start a business. The first date is when we sign up the application, and the second date is when we decide. I'm going to burn the bridge. I'm not going back. This is where I'm going. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to meet people that I need to meet. I'm going to talk to people that I need to talk. I'm going to read the book that I need to read, but I'm going to read it. I'm going to find that out. Everything is possible, guys. Everything is possible. The only limit are our beliefs. And this is what these conferences, they change your beliefs, bottom line. And that's my last line. I don't hear you, Nicole. You are muted.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, so I can read body language, so you would, okay.
You didn't hear me yelling at my teenagers?
Okay.
Thank you, Z, for your time. Really, really appreciate it. And we're just going to go jump right into our conference session. So if you've got to run to your next meeting, we will see you probably at a local event very soon.
Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Good luck. I'll see you at the next event, right? So stay well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, Team B, so we get to dig into some juicy. We've got about 30 minutes here to talk a little bit more about conference. I see some faces here on Zoom tonight that are first-time attendees. So, yay, if you can unmute yourself, if you've gone to conference for the first time, I would love to hear like a minute or two of what conference did for you. And don't be shy or I'll start to point the finger.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, Jen B.
I've got raspy voice, but I'll go with it. Yeah, so it was my first experience at conference. It was so incredible. I kind of feel a bit disappointed in myself just because Melissa's been trying to get me to go for I don't know how long, and I always had all these excuses. And now I realize that everyone on my team has the same excuses that I had, so it's time to like bust them down, right? But anyways, it was such a great weekend, great people. I loved the NMD speeches. I really did. Where's Melissa Seguin? Her and I were like, ooh, crying, just so heartfelt. Especially Juanita's. I felt just like it, tons of light bulbs came on, but it made me realize that it's all reachable. The business is reachable, creating that team is reachable, and having those experiences is reachable. I actually spent the weekend kind of sitting back and taking in the training, partying very hard, like too hard, which is why I have no voice. With my roommates. I thought just work hard, play hard, like you can sleep when you die. But I really just, I would listen to people speak. And I'm like, I need to go speak to that person. And I really pick people's brains all weekend. Like, how are they doing what they're doing? What are they doing different from Canada? How are they bringing on this team? How are they sharing the product? What different programs are they using? That sort of thing. And I just found that from start to finish, the conference was just such an inspiration for me. It was what I needed to light that torch that kind of went out under me, and it lit me. And I got home on Sunday night and I felt like I was on drugs. Like, people were on my call. I don't even know what I said. Like, I just was so crazy, and it was exactly what I needed. And Sarah Beardmore said it best. You need to keep going to these events, conferences, mini conferences, little events to keep that momentum going, because you get so pumped up and then it kind of fades. And you get pumped up and then it kind of fades. And it was like just the perfect timing for me. So I now finally realize how important it is to go to conference and as many events as possible, because it was awesome. It wasn't too long.
Nope, that's good, Jen. Is there anybody else that wants to be brave enough to share before Melissa and I kind of do a quick summary? Natalie?
I knew you were coming for me.
Natalie.
I don't know if I can talk as long as Jen here, but for me, I guess because I'm fairly new, it was just a lot to take in. But both yourself, Nicole, and Melissa and Leslie gave me kind of the heads up before conference that it will be a lot to take in, a lot to grasp. But I came home. I already sealed 2 orders today, and one that I've been working on, someone that's that keeps saying no, but I know that she would finally come around, which she did today. So yeah, it's met a lot of people. Again, just back to a point from the speaker tonight, I work in the pharma industry, and I do attend a lot of conferences as well, and it's a totally different feel. And it's very motivating, very inspirational, and I'm just happy to be back and to put everything into this.
Awesome. Thanks, Natalie. Anybody else want to share what they got out of conference?
Cassie.
You want Cassie to share? Okay.
Hi, damn it. I was hoping you would skip over me. So as a conference virgin like Jen, we had an amazing time. We partied a lot, but we also went to a lot of the conferences. So party hard, work hard, you know. The NMD speeches, like Jen was saying, were really, really inspiring, mainly because everyone has different journeys. We're all different. And the fact that most of them didn't do it in the 1 year that a lot of people from Canada have been doing it. So it's amazing to know that, you know, your journey doesn't have to be fast. It can be on your own schedule. And a lot of people have been doing it the way that they want to do it, with the people that they want to do.
Cassie, you're on mute. Cassie, you hit the mute button.
When did I hit that? Oh, sorry. Oops. Anyways, the whole thing that I was trying to say is that, like, the fact that people have done it in, you know, 5, 10, 15 years, they still did it. That's the important part, is that they still got to their goal of NMD. Then your next goal is, you know, 100 club, 250 club, whatever you can do. But it was amazing. Got the inspiration back. Everyone needs to go. I'm only VF right now, but I'm going for SSC by the time that we go to Cali. So when I get to that level, I'll be able to afford conference a little bit more. But it's not about affording it. It's about knowing the value in it. You know, so I thought, oh, $500 for a plane ticket and then $500 for a hotel. That's a lot of money. But in the end, your $1,000 is going to make up double, triple, quadruple in profit from your reps and your customers. So it's worth going, no matter what you can put into it.
Awesome. Thanks, Cassie. Okay, if we have time at the end, we'll maybe pick on a few more newbies here. So I've got my list of things that I'm going to go through for updates, and Melissa has her list. So I'll start. So a couple things that I'm going to share with you. So they did announce that they are going to be ready to launch the Omega Blend sometime in next year. There was a couple months delay. They're working with very unique plant-based oils that I'm sure are there's just been some delays. So we were, as national marketing directors, we're supposed to get like some product samples, but we're expecting them in a couple months. But the good news is it's still coming. They really want to make sure that they don't rush this launch. They want to make sure that we have a very, very unique product to the market, a product that the world has never seen. And what's making it so special is that they're taking very unique plant-based sources and turning them into oils that I think I wrote down like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9s of different oil blends, and those aren't formulas that are out there. And then of course they want to do the research and the testing for the benefit. So it's really exciting. So sometime next year for the Omegas. They also announced that we will be in a veggie cap by the end of next year. It's going to be kind of a soft launch as the old inventory dies off and the new comes in. So we're really excited. So by the end of next year, we'll be fully veggie everything. The only thing that's really not veggie right now is the gelatin caps with the Juice Plus. So we're really excited about that. There's on the Thursday morning with Dr. Mitra Ray, she really just went over T30 and the 10-day shred, and she showed us the volume of where her volume was before the T30 and 10-day shred. And she already had a very strong base, but it grew so significant. And what that means is that distributors were growing their business. And so I think, I'm trying to think, like 7,000 people around the world, like distributors that have T30 websites. So it's really taken off. And so she really just continued to launch it. And you heard trainings and stories. And the big run around that is the T30 CEC credits that you can get. That's all on Team B. She's expanding that program so that if you run into anybody that needs credits, they're able to take the different levels, and there's videos online, and there's actually a website, and all that information we will download on Team B, but there's actually a website that you can go to and sign up to get your credit. Now, you don't have to be an athlete or like a personal trainer to get these credits. You can still be a Transform 30 coach, and you can still do because you can just still do it. It doesn't matter if you're a health professional or not. I think some of you have done it already. So she's going to continue to expand on that. So it looks really good, very exciting. The Juice Plus Complete shakes, from a product standpoint, the packaging is changing. So they're not going to be these big, tall bags. They're going to be short and more stable on the bottom. And so you can open them. It's going to be wider and easier to get the product out. We don't have an exact date when that will start to happen in Canada, but we'll probably see a soft distribution shipment, I would say, in the first or second quarter of next year. But those are the type of details that come down after conference when we have our NMB meetings with the leaders in Canada. And every month we have a meeting. So as soon as I get updates, I'll continue to update the team. The other thing that came up in the wrap-up training is some of the leaders that are doing really, really well with events is they're starting to do a lot of live events. So Ali Schneider was training on how, I'd really like this example because it really resonated with me, is she signed up 2 gyms in Arizona, and in order to launch these 2 gyms successfully, she decided to host a live event at each of the gym locations. And because each of the gym locations had a massive Facebook following, they did kind of a pre-post announcement about the live event. And she said, when one gym, they had over 200 people that tuned into their event, and the other gym had just, over that amount. And so it's such, as Zvonko said, we're moving so fast in this business in different ways. Every conference, there seems to be a different way of technology to continue to do this business. It's so cool, because I remember a year ago when we learned about Facebook parties, and we did that. And now the live events have almost taken over the Facebook parties, and now people are doing them. And Ellie is a personal trainer, so she's taking advantage of actually showing people and showcasing her personal training sessions and creating kind of almost like a loyal following. So I think you guys can get really, really creative in regards to how you use your live events and really, you know, put it out there to the world. I know one of my new reps in Burlington, we're going to do a live event next week, even though I'm going to be here in my house and she's going to be in Burlington. She's in her 30s and she didn't really resonate with the Facebook party. She wanted to be more personable. So we're going to do a live Facebook event for her. So I will be on it and she will be commenting with all of her friends about her story and why she loves it so much. So we're going to attempt that for the first time, which is exciting. And then I'm going to stop there because that's kind of my short list. I'm going to get Melissa to take over, and I've got some notes as we closed up the conference at the wrap up that I might have time for at the end. So Melissa?
There we go. Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. Well, I'll cover one thing. I don't know if you're going to cover it, but just in case. This is so exciting. As you guys know, our product is in 24 countries around the world. So you can set up distributors and whatnot there. What is the date? Correct me on the date, Nicole, if I'm wrong. Come the new year, like January, February, we are going to be able to ship Juice Plus just about anywhere in the world. We'll not be able to set up business there like distributors because we don't have a head office in those countries, but we are going to be able to ship anywhere in the world. So India, for example. No, not anywhere, but mostly everywhere, like North Korea, not so much, places like that. But otherwise, yeah, so exciting. We're going to be shipping via FedEx. So prices will be based on US product prices. And then, of course, the shipping will vary based on where it's going. And you will be paid based on selling a US product. So pretty exciting. So we could be in Nicole, you're typing. Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
You're typing.
I'm answering Jen's question.
Okay, just mute yourself because it's clickety, clickety, click. It's going to charge it. Well, there will be a, like a price sheet with cost. They're working on that now. It'll come out eventually, how much it'll cost to ship to wherever. Okay. Come January, February, Dubai is going to be a new country where we will be opening up with full distributors and everything like that. So super, super exciting.
When's that?
January or February. It'll be announced, but early in the year. Yep. That's the date they gave us. Jumping products to the tower gardens. We now can sell what's called a tower garden community, 12 towers. Before this conference, when you got up to 12 towers, it turned into a tower garden farm, and it got passed over to living, what the heck's it called? I want to say Living Waters. That's not it. Tim Blank's company. I'm having a mind blank on his name.
Living Towers.
Thank you. But now Juice Plus has acquired that part of Tim Blank's company, so to speak. So now we are able to sell these large tower garden orders, the tower garden farms, and the tower garden communities, and people that were actually running tower garden farms will partner with us. And so now the rep will still be paid for these larger tower garden communities. So it's really exciting. And these people that are considered tower garden farmers have had huge farms in the past, and so they'll be working with the individual reps to do that. So exciting. I've also asked Stephen Millman about a price for lights to go with that as well, and different seeds for growing in Canada, since we grow indoors a lot. So he's going to get back to us on all of that stuff. So exciting. I think that is, again, coming sooner than later with the new, because we still need the Canadian pricing, of course, being in the US. The conference, it was the US dollars, the US pricing, but they're going to have the Canadian one for us soon. So that is so exciting. The customers, and then this other thing. I'm sure if you guys have seen my post, you'll know what I'm about to talk about, the healthy revolution. So T30, first I'll be really clear on this. T30 has been at the forefront of all of those types of programs. Like there's the T30 program, there's healthy living rules, and there were a few others. We also have the Shred 10. T30/Shred 10 is still going to be at the forefront. Mitra was 100% assured by everyone down there because it has had such an impact globally on Juice Plus, this program, but they're just making it that much better. And it was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole conference. I had such goosebumps. So they had Jake Kelly on stage, Mitra on stage, Ali, Nicole, you just mentioned her. Can't think of her. Anyways, another distributor who's been really active and successful with all these different programs, and a few others. And they all came on and they started talking about how once upon a time, healthy used to be easy. We used to have gardens and grow food and make homemade meals and sit down for something called a family dinner. That's really foreign to me. And now we don't have that for a variety of reasons. People are rushing, they don't want a garden, they don't want to make meals, whatever it is. And we simply don't have that. And as a result, we are the sickest we have ever been. In particular, our children, right? These adult diseases are now moving down to our children. And this is not acceptable. We are not willing to put up with this any longer. So as a company, as a global company, we are starting a healthy revolution, and we are going to take healthy back. Those are the two hashtags that have been all over the place, because we deserve more. Our families deserve more. Our kids deserve more. And we can do this because we care more about just a sale. It's about DNA. It's about healthy living. It's about blood work. It's about making a difference in our communities. And it's a new website that's going to be launched soon as well. It's called healthylivingrevolution.com. And there's going to be a brand new cookbook in there. I actually haven't seen the cookbook, so it might be Mitra's, you never know, with a new cover on the inside of there. And that's accessible for your customers, so they'll be able to go there, some freebies there. There's also going to be, let's call it a workbook for kids that want to be healthy living ambassadors. And then there's also going to be a login area for reps where we can go and get all of those materials that we're already accustomed to. And that's why T30 is not going to be going anywhere. We have so many materials, so much research done. Did you talk about the CECs, Nicole? Shake your head yes or no. Yeah. So as well in there, that's another reason why this is just at the forefront. So we now have 5 CECs through the Juice Plus program. It's just unbelievable. So we are so excited about that. We're also going to have the Representative Resource Center in there. The whole focus is on whole food nutrition, and the programs will be in there as well, kind of like teasers almost, so people can find out about the Shred 10 or the T30, like whatever works for them. And it'll be a teaser to engage them and get them interested, and then they'll be able to find out more. So it's pretty exciting. And one other thing for customers that I forgot about, starting soon, customers will be able to go onto your personal websites only, not juicepluscanada.com or not juiceplus.com, your personal website, and place their own children's health study order. So they'll be able to do that. We're also going to have, with that, they're going to be sent, when an order is placed, head office is going to send them out an email encouraging them to set up their own account, so they will actually be able to manage their own orders. They'll be able to go in and change things, speed things up. So that should really help out with customer satisfaction in addition to everything else that we're doing. So lots of great things happening with technology. So it's pretty exciting. And I think, see what else. Yeah, the customers can check their orders. And this is really cool. So if they cancel, they will be prompted to tell us why, and then that information will be sent directly to you guys as well. So you will be notified that they're canceling and why. So hopefully we can save those people. It'll be great. As opposed to right now, if somebody calls head office and cancels, you have to look on your genealogy report and all that kind of stuff. So you'll be sent this information. So it's pretty exciting. And they are going to also alert customers with an email that their next shipment is coming out. So again, trying to have excellent customer care. And what did Meredith say? She said, we're going to go where all other companies have gone before, finally letting customers take care of their accounts and so on. So it's going to be so awesome. I'll take a breath. Nicole, you got anything else to add? You want to talk about the research coming out?
There you go. There's not much of, I mean, there's no big updates on research.
What?
Well, no, not new, but like there's
coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot coming down, but it's not like there was not a bunch of new research. So they're definitely launching. There was a few delays in the gut one on gut health, but there's full throttle there. I guess the new would be that they are obviously with the Omega blend, they want to definitely do research on Omega, so they're working through that. But their whole message was that they're going to continue to do the research, and they want to be researching it on all of our products, not just Juice Plus capsules. So and more research on the complete. So it just got us excited to know that they're still focused on making sure that we have the research to back up our amazing products. So that's great.
And how about the Tough study? Remember? They are going to test Juice Plus and whether or not it actually slows down the aging process.
Right. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, slowing down the aging. That's actually pretty exciting.
And sure. Brain health, another one on brain health.
Yeah.
And nutrigenomics, and more on complete as well.
Yeah. Good. What else was I going to say? Some of the closing marks, we had Jeff Roberti. We didn't comment, but Jeff Roberti lost 50 pounds on the T30 program. That was probably one of the most inspiring stories. Jeff Roberti is the #1 income earner in all of Juice Plus, and I think ranks top 5 in all of network marketing around the world. So he's made his $85+ million. He owns 40 homes. He was one of the first to get involved with, Juice Plus, and he started this business when he was 24. And, he would comment that, in the summertime, he would be traveling all over the world and eating late and, eating lots of food and drinking lots. And he took this summer off to take care of his own health. And he stuck with the T120, as he said, and he dropped 50 pounds. He looks like a different person. But he came to the wrap up on Thursday and closed. And, Jeff is just all about being real. And he just said, you have to really dig into your why and your purpose. You want to make sure that every day you're adding value to people's lives. So what does that look like for you? And you really want to look at creating long-term relationships. It took him, 16 years to bring in Lauren Slocum into the Juice Plus business. He just kept on loving on her and developing a relationship before she came to her first conference. And then his one question, he's always throwing out questions is, so where you are now to where you need to be, what do you need to be working on? Do you need to be working on yourself? Do you need to be working on being more consistent on your daily method operation? But get clear, one thing about success or wanting to be successful is that we always have to be analyzing and dissecting what we're doing right and maybe what's not supporting us and helping us move forward. So once he finished off, we had Katie Ravy come up after. Katie Ravy was the young lady that blew up the UK and hit Millionaire Club last year. So 4 years in the business, Katie Ravy went a Millionaire Club, which means she has, I think she ended up getting recognized for 1,000 Club, which gets you into the Millionaire Club. So she closed off with a few tips. And this girl's not even 30 years old. And she's like a powerhouse. And she said a blonde CEO. But boy, she's one powerful gal, and if you follow her on Facebook, you see that she's always changing up the game. She's always doing something a little bit different, and I give her credit for her creativity and always almost like creating a curiosity and a buzz on social media. So she's always reinventing herself and her programs. What did she say? She said, oh, I like this. Your best motivation is just move, just get into action. She asked everybody to write down what our goal would be for 2017 to the California Anaheim conference. And then she said, so what she recommends you do is go back every month in regards to what you need to do every month to get there. So it's like, how many people do you need to be talking to? How many events do you need to be doing, you know, and just getting really, really clear on that goal. And, you know, Melissa and I were reminiscing on the airplane on the way, you know, back to Toronto. And, you know, we were going through like all the things that we're really proud of as leaders that we have, you know, done over the last year, which is, you know, we've got a good team website. We have, we think, pretty good communication through our Facebook page and through, you know, Facebook Messenger. We're like the events. I think that our team here in Canada probably produces some of the best events and the most events. So we're really proud of that. And as we were starting to dig in, I guess, what's the peel back the onion, we both looked at each other to say, like, what's the one thing that we could do as leaders that we're most afraid of to commit. And some of you've already heard our story, but one of the things that we're afraid to commit is that consistent activity of new prospecting. And, you know, when you get into leadership, it's really easy to kind of get lazy on talking to people because you get into management mode. So we made a commitment, and it scares the crap out of me every single day that I've committed to Melissa on this, because it's work. It's like, it's work, and it's hard work. And the hard work is we've committed to connecting to 10 new prospects a day, Monday through Friday, which is 50 a week. And we have to take a picture of it. We have to send it to each other. And if we don't by the end, I guess we could say by midnight, I owe her $10 a day, or she owes me $10 a day. So we're making each other accountable. So my challenge to you guys is ask yourself, what is the one thing that you're scared of that you haven't committed yet? And is that one thing going to push you to the next level? And if it is, that's probably the one thing that you need to commit to. So that's what Melissa and I have committed to. And no, I have not done my 10 today. I have been so busy doing 3-way calls and trainings. It's 10 o'clock. After I get off of this call, I got to figure out how to get my kids to bed, and then I have to hit social media. So you're not getting $10 from me, girl. Not tonight. So on that note, we just actually had our NMD meeting for the Ontario group, and we've got a really good, strong 2017 schedule all laid out. And Nicole Webb is going to have that laid out on a team page this week, so you guys can go to the site. Is it already there, Nicole? She's already smiling. She's on top of it. So you guys can go to our Team Be the Change site. I recommend you get your calendar out. Hopefully you got Melissa and I's new passion planner came in the mail. So we've already got our 2017. I haven't even opened it yet, but we've got our calendar. So your goal will be to get those dates in your calendar. And as Jen Brennan said, no excuses. You just make it happen and you show up and watch your business grow. On that note, we are at 10 o'clock. So it's been an hour. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I just want to say, in my opinion, this was probably one of my favorite conferences out of 19 that I've been to. The Saturday night dance party was the biggest party I'd ever seen. I have to admit, sometimes we'd go to the Saturday party and we'd be like, oh, this is so lame. Why did we stay? Why didn't we fly home? And we couldn't even find space at times on the dance floor. It's just this new vibe, this new, and I think what's changing the culture too is we're really attracting a lot of young people. I saw a lot of 20-year-olds, a lot of 30-year-olds there. And it's so sweet to see those young youthful people really catching the vision and wanting a different life than their parents. So it's a pretty beautiful culture that we are embracing. Melissa, is there anything else you want to say before we say goodnight? Nope, she's good. Okay. Oh, I got a finger from my mom. Is it the middle finger? Yes, Mom. Unmute.
Okay, just really quickly, I wanted to share with everyone, if any of you know Teresa Cooper, she's always has to have a wheelchair because she was in a bad accident 5 years ago, and I always call her Super Cooper because you have no idea how hard it is for her to be at conference because she gets muscle spasms and that because she can't take the stuff she normally does. Anyway, never complains, never talks about it. And Karen Jones, KJ, was at the airport the same time. And she like wanted to help Teresa and was just so beautiful to her and gave her a conference ticket for Anaheim and said to her, you know, you are somebody I really admire and you deserve to be helped. So that's how cool our head office is. They watch everything, and when you're in the game, they'll reward you. And that was just so nice. Teresa was crying, she was crying. So, and if you know about KJ, she's a philanthropist, and we're really blessed to have her in this company. So that's it.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. On that note, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you for joining us for the conference wrap-up and hearing Z's story. Jen Brennan, you're doing NMD, baby. I know. You're going to have a great poop story along with that.
I'm going to have a story about my dog.
You want to share or wait?
Melissa, I think I made Melissa pee her pants yesterday. I came home and I was like running around trying to do all this work, get everything done, and my dog's been shitting all over my floor for 2 days. So I was like, I can't keep picking up his poop. I don't know what's wrong with him, so I give him white rice. I'm giving him Juice Plus. So I came home. There was like smut all over the floor. So I tried to put a plastic bag on him, and he scurried out of it. So I put a pull-up on him. I was like, I don't have time for him to keep doing. I gotta get NMD.
You do what it takes. You do what it takes. Good luck. We can't wait. We're cheering you on, Jen.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Love you. Have a great week out there.
Night.
Night.